On episode 17, we have a fighting game themed episode with special guest Chris from the MultiTap Podcast, and we have part 3 of our 5-part top 10 series. Sit back and relax, cause here comes episode 17.
Activating Dragon Power Protocol in 3, 2, 1. Initializing host sequence. Player 1. Select your host. Brian.
Solid choice. Let's fire it up.
Player 2. Select your host. Connor.
Oh, yeah!
Host sequence complete. Stand by for podcast.
Dragon Power!
Hey everybody!
Hello!
Welcome out to episode 17 of the Dragon Power Podcast.
We're 1 year away from being an adult. Or
What?
week.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do math.
1 year away from being kicked out of our parents' house.
So, we're not doing an episode for another year.
Oh,
Apparently,
gosh.
it just
I want to live in my podcast basement for the rest of my life and never get a job.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about
Anyway.
it. Today is actually a special episode full of wonder and merriment. It is a fighting game themed episode.
Yeah.
And with that comes our very special guest, all the way from the MultiTap Podcast, Mr. Chris B.
Hello. How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
How's it going,
That's
man?
good, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
It's our pleasure. We finally got you on the show.
I know. After
Figured
a
out
huge...
some way to do it after like a month and a half, I think.
Yeah.
So many false promises on earlier episodes.
I was making
Like-
a joke about that because I listened to your guys' show and I kept hearing like, and Chris is going to be on the next episode. And then the next episode came and you're like, so
Next episode.
Chris isn't here. And then the next episode you're like, yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Didn't we have one episode where it said Chris would be in the next episode, then we had Kmall? So
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, this is the next
We were like, he's going to be on the
Here's
next one,
Kmall.
and then we had a completely different non-Chris person.
Well,
Yeah.
I abandoned
But
the
now
country
we've
for a
got
bit,
you.
I'm sorry.
You can't leave. You're here forever.
Never ever.
So, we're going to go straight into what we normally go into, and we'll start with you, Chris. What did you do this week? What did you play? What did you watch?
This week has been a big week because Guile came out.
Yeah.
So Guile's my boy, and I've been out of all the DLC characters for Street Fighter V, Guile's been the one that I've been waiting for the most. So he came
Yeah.
out, and he's awesome.
I was going to say, I tried him out. I actually tried him out last night. Or was it last night or was it the night before? Either way, I tried him out, and he plays just like he used to.
He does play just like he used to, but they enhanced him because now
Yeah.
you can link so many things. Like I'm discovering how many things like you've never been able to do this in any game before. Not even in Marvel vs. Capcom. Have you been able to link certain things? And so it's weird. Like you could jump in right and like crouching medium Sonic Boom, which has always been his bread and butter. But now after the Sonic Boom, you can link another medium punch to another super move, and then another one to another super move, and so like you can do like literally like 13 Sonic Booms in one combo.
Sonic Bow! I love it.
That's amazing.
It's
He
pretty
feels
nuts.
really good and like a campy character.
Yeah, I went through his story mode just to give him a try, and he was awesome. I love his hair looks absolutely ridiculous per
Yeah.
usual.
I love
and it's
that.
glorious
I love his hair because it makes no sense.
because you could put drinks on it and it's perfectly fine.
Because I was thinking about this because like if you just like took his hair and put it straight up, it wouldn't be even.
No.
So like he has to like style it and then like take a razor to it or something at the end.
If his hair stood straight up, it would be a bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, it would.
You could put cereal in it, man.
Wow.
I want to eat cereal out of Guile's hair.
I'm sure he
What
has
else did you do, Chris?
I'm sure he has enough like hair product that you can do that. But anyway.
Beyond Street Fighter V, I'm actually pretty deep back into Destiny.
Oh, good.
They made that. They did that April update, and so I've been really into that. They increased the light level. I think Destiny's a real good game. I like that game
man.
a lot.
Me too. I really like Destiny ever since they fixed Destiny.
I agree. Like Year 2
So-
Destiny is a fantastic game. Year 1 Destiny was a little rough to recommend,
Yeah.
but now I think it's a whole complete experience.
Absolutely.
Sick.
So that's awesome, man.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's probably it from a video game perspective. Yes.
You been watching anything lately? Or?
I've been watching Daredevil.
Oh
Nice.
yeah!
So
Yeah,
I was in Japan for a bit, and I missed a lot. I haven't watched season 2 completely, but I've been catching up now. I'm like episode 7 or 8, and yeah, that's a real good show.
Yeah, man.
I was
How about that
skeptical about Shane playing the Punisher, honestly,
Yeah.
because Shane, like Shane from The Walking Dead, right? Like, what is his real name?
John
John
Bernthal.
Bernthal.
He's a good actor.
That's his name. Is Shane from The Walking Dead.
He's Shane from The Walking Dead. Shane's
That's
his
what
first
that's what
name
it says on his birth certificate.
from his middle name, The Walking Dead.
Shane F.W.
So my
Step forward.
my first experience with Shane, right, is The
Yeah.
Walking Dead, and in The Walking Dead, you don't like him, right?
Not at all. Not even
And
the
so
slightest.
he kind of in my head developed this face of like, man, like if I made a top 10 list of people I wanted to like, take a shot at in their face, like John Bernthal is up there, but like his face just is a punchable face. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But-
100%.
But no, after he's playing the Punisher, after he played this role, like, he did a good job, dude. I like him. I just found out they're doing a spin-off of his character for. They're gonna do like a solo Punisher run.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I
I
got
didn't know
more on
about
that in the news actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I love me some Punisher.
Yeah, I love.
I just bought the new some more comics of him.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah.
Awesome, man. All right, Connor, what did you do this week, bro?
Oh, what did I do this week? So I finished Evangelion. I'd started this a while ago.
Oh.
I'd never seen it. The show is really good.
Yeah, dude, I love that show.
Drops off the hardest I've ever seen a show do. Like, I was like, episode 24. All right, yeah, woo, we did it. And then it's like, oh, let's have an existential crisis for the next 2 episodes. While I run out of
Absolutely,
money.
that's exactly what happens.
I was like, oh, what? Oh, okay. I guess I'm gonna skip this last episode and watch the movie. Movie kind of makes up for it. Still don't really know what's going on, but
Sweet. I've actually never seen any of that series.
it's pretty. I'm not huge into mecha.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The designs are really cool. The mechs.
So you're watching the actual like episodic, like the '90s episodes, right?
Yeah, and then I started like the first half of the movie, but like I didn't get through it because it's literally just the anime redone. I know it's different from the second movie onward.
Are you talking about the new ones? Like
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude, those
The
new ones are
reboots.
redone. They were really well done.
They look really good,
Yeah.
but I just didn't get through it because I just finished it.
Oh
I
yeah,
needed something
yeah.
new.
It changes a
So-
whole lot. Just so you know, like you'll get a lot from watching it still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I finished One Punch Man because I have this bad problem
Dude.
of I'll start an anime and then finish it like 4 months later. There was a time period where I watched Gurren Lagann 1 episode a year.
Oh, Gurren Lagann's my jam, dude. I love
And
Gurren
then-
Lagann.
I'd finally forced myself to finish it, and now Kamuna is like one of my favorite characters of all time. So
Oh,
awesome.
I have a figure of him in my living room.
I want a figure of Kamuna so bad. Anyway, and then that's all I did for shows. I watched a decent amount of anime. And then I don't know. Next up, I I finished Shadow Warrior.
Nice.
That game is really long and good, and it feels like an old game, and it's just refreshing.
The new one.
So this is the remake. Yeah.
The
That one
remake.
is fun.
It's so good.
It's ridiculous.
I can't wait for the second one to come out.
Yeah, apparently the second one is supposed to be like light years better than the first one.
Yeah, well, because the first one like was an idea, and now like they're trying to bring a feel. I know they're doing like there's like more parkour and stuff in this.
That's cool.
And they're shortening the length because that's one of the gripes I did have because the game was really good, but there are just some sections where it's like, all right, go into this room, mow down the enemies, go into this room. Like the final sequence is like I thought I was at the final boss, and then there was like 3 more hours left. I was like, oh okay.
Yeah. I really like the remake, but I still prefer the original.
Like that first level is like, as with many first-person shooters, first level is just like that. I think that if the levels were all that length, it'd be perfect.
That's the showcase level.
Yeah,
I like that Shadow Warrior game, man. It's a throwback to the way first-person shooters used to be, like in the '90s. That and Serious
Yeah,
Sam.
absolutely.
it's so good. Yeah, I need to play more Serious Sam, but yeah. And then I played a lot of Mad Max. That game's also really longer than I feel it should be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an open world game, and there's a lot to do in it. So
It is, but like I got to the point where I was like, I just want to do the story, and then I get to where I have locked missions because I haven't done enough side quest stuff. So it's like, okay, time to turn that off for a little bit. Then I played a lot of Street Fighter V, trying to figure out. Brian actually got on to me because I keep switching characters I want to main,
Dude, we've had. If you go back and listen to our backlog of episodes, there are several times where Connor's like, "Oh, dude, Zangief's gonna be my main," and then the next week he's like, "Oh, dude, Birdie, he's totally my main now."
Although,
and then the next week you're like, "Oh, dude, Alex, he's my new main."
Although Birdie is my main, I've decided Birdie's my main, but I need a secondary. So
Birdie is the only character that you play as that I have to really work hard at to beat you.
Because he works well with me because he doesn't have many combos and he's all fundamentals, so I don't have to think too hard. But
and he's disgusting,
he's
so it's
gross.
distracting.
He's the best.
Oh, they
and
made
then,
Birdie so gross in that game.
I
don't
love him.
understand. I don't
I
understand.
wish because he's super ripped in alpha.
Yeah, he
He's
didn't
like-
used to be a fat slob like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Like he's pulling donuts out of like the nether realm and
Yeah.
I love that. Where he just pulls a big donut. It's like, yeah.
I love how, like, in some of the story modes, he's just like, I'm so hungry, can somebody buy me food? But then he can just conjure, like, inner tube-sized donuts out of nowhere.
Like,
He's a donut wizard.
When you select him on the screen, it's like, I'm gonna eat something after this. You're like, what kind of fighting game quote is that?
An awesome one. I love Birdie, man.
And then, so I've been playing around with Ryu a little bit, actually.
Cool.
I know he's super villain. I tend to stay away from, like, the Ryu and Kens of games.
Why?
But I don't know. Just because they seem too vanilla. Like Mario, I don't like Mario in Smash because he's the Ryu of that game. But anyway, I've been trying it out because he's a good way to learn, basic combos and whatever. And he's fun.
Well,
so.
actually, Ryu is now the Ryu.
I was
of
gonna
Smash.
say Ryu's the Ryu of Smash now.
I forgot. Anyway, well, you know what I mean. After that, I beat MGS3.
Nice.
I've been playing that a couple weeks.
Oh, nice, dude. That's a masterpiece.
Yeah, totally non-lethal. Super good game.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I love it. I'm not gonna talk more about the game. But I bought MGS1 like almost immediately after last week's podcast.
Yeah, we went to this arcade we have in town. It's an amazing arcade, and the entire front section of the arcade is like a classic gaming store.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like my dream store.
Yeah, it's amazing. And dude, Chris, if you ever come out to Nashville, man, I'm taking you there. And you if you pay $10, you can stay there from the moment they open to the moment they close.
Wow.
And
Just
it's
play games.
all free play.
I absolutely love old like mom and pop gaming stores / arcades. Like
it's got every fighting game you could possibly think of.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Street Fighter EX3 or whatever.
Yeah,
that
EX
crap-
plus Alpha.
Yeah,
is
that's
there.
my
dude,
favorite.
really?
It's the most popular machine.
I love
there.
the X series.
Yeah. And but then I figured I couldn't play it because it didn't have a PS1 memory card.
That's right.
So I bought one on Amazon a little while ago, and
Nice.
I just got it yesterday. So I played a little bit of that yesterday. But
Awesome.
other than that, that's it for my week. So Brian,
Yeah.
finish us up here.
The big thing that I did this week is me and my good friends and bandmates, Cody and John, drove up to Ohio, and we saw Dream Theater live.
Whoa.
And it was like a religious experience. The concert was literally called An Evening with Dream Theater.
Wow. Nice.
So they just released this new concept record. There's like 34 songs on it. It's like over 2.5 hours of music, and the whole album is one big story. It's like a big rock opera from start to finish. And they played that in its entirety from start to finish.
Jeez. That's awesome.
It was incredible. It was unbelievable. They didn't have an opening act. They didn't have it was just like we showed up at 7:30. They came out on stage and just started blowing people's heads apart with like incredible music.
That's awesome, dude.
But while to piggyback off that, on the trip there, we stopped at a couple of like pawn shops and old school gaming stores, and I got a couple treasures.
Yeah.
That I was really happy about. I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up for the GameCube.
I've been trying to get that, but he beat me to it.
Yeah.
So.
And it for whatever reason, it is in the most impeccable, immaculate GameCube case I have ever seen in my life.
It looks better than some of like the PS4 cases I
Yeah,
get.
there
It's
are
just
like there are like new games that you take the plastic off of that don't look as good as this GameCube
Wow.
case.
I don't want to
whatever
touch
reason.
it. It's weird.
It's like
ugh.
suspiciously new. Like there's something shifty's happening here.
Like it's alive and it knows it.
It's healing.
Yeah, if it has any blemishes, it just like heals itself. But then I also got this game called what is it called? Defenders of the Crown on the NES.
Oh, nice. I like
And-
Defenders of the Crown.
Oh, dude, that game is absolute not good.
No, I
in
like
my
that
opinion.
game, dude.
My mom bought it for me when I was a really little kid, and I remember one of the characters. His name was Joffrey. He looked a little bit like my dad looked in the early 90s, late 80s. So I was like, oh, it looks like my dad. So I fired it up, and I was just like, I don't even remember how this game played. And me and my girlfriend, she sat there and watched me play it, and the two of us were just like, how does play?
Is
and
this vid game?
It doesn't work well.
I used to
I
rent
guess my brain.
I used to rent that game from Albertsons. Remember Albertsons?
Of course.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a West
It
Coast
turned
thing.
into Ralph's, and then Ralph's
Yeah.
turned into I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, that game had jousting in it. It was like a video game made for about a Renaissance fair.
Yeah, no joke. And like when you joust, even if you win the joust, you suddenly have to do one-on-one combat with shields and flails.
Yeah.
And it's
like morning.
and it's
like
the
yeah.
wonkiest controls ever. It's like, how do you do this? But then I also got the original God of War for $3 on
nice.
PlayStation 3 or 2, excuse me.
$3?
And yeah,
Wow.
it was awesome. So it was a pretty eventful week. Plus, I played just a crap ton of Dark Souls like I normally do. Still haven't beaten it yet because I'm just taking my sweet time trying to find every single nook and cranny in the game.
Yeah.
Even though I can do that in New Game Plus, but
Nice.
other than that, that's pretty much what I did this week. So awesome. Eventful weeks for everybody, sounds
Yes.
like.
The events were held.
Events
this week.
happened. And
Weeks
things
happened.
Things were done.
Things occurred.
So we are going to go into our next segment, which I'm looking forward to. Since this is the fighting game themed episode, we are going to go into the quick list.
Quick. Hey, he didn't say it, man. Someone had.
No,
to,
I gotta
right?
wait.
Oh,
I gotta mix it up.
it's so good. Chris's little half-hearted quick was
Hey,
hilarious.
man.
I love it.
I was, I listen to the show, man. I know what's going on.
You know where it's supposed to go.
Oh.
But like I've been doing it too quick, so I gotta quick. All right, let's go into it, guys.
I'm ready. Perfect. All right, so the quick list for this week is going to be our top 5 favorite fighting game finishing moves or like super moves.
Supers.
So
Supers.
that can be anywhere from like critical arts to fatalities to ultras to whatever. Just your top 5 favorites. And Chris, since you're the guest, sir, why don't we go ahead and start with you? What's your number 5?
This was a real hard list for me, guys. I gotta say, because fighting games are a big part of my life, and I love a lot of these moves. I love a lot of them.
Okay.
But so there's a lot I had to take off the list. But my top 5. So number 5. I actually started with the one that you might not suspect, but number 5 for me is from a Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me is Mega Man's Final Smash from Smash 4.
Oh, okay.
Because
yeah.
when I saw that it didn't even matter what game that was in. I would buy a system and I would buy that game.
Yeah.
All the
Like,
Mega
this
Mans
is
come out and they wreck house, and Mega Man X is there, and even
Aw,
Mega
dude,
Man Legends is there, and it's the best
That's
thing.
awesome.
Dude, Mega Man X. is
I
the
actually
best
haven't
Mega
seen
Man.
it. So
You haven't seen it?
I have to see that
Aw.
final Smash,
Dude,
man.
all
That
the
sounds
Mega Mans
amazing.
come out. All the blue Mega Man come out.
It'd be
amazing.
worth it for me to just bring our Wii U over and just go through every one because there's some really good ones.
There
I
are some
guarantee you they're all
really
just
good
on
ones.
YouTube.
Oh, they are, but it's not like you have to see it on your TV.
You have to see it organically.
It's worth it.
You have to
guess.
get
I don't-
wrecked by it.
Yeah. I showed him Ryu's because he has 2. He has Shinku Hadouken and whatever his Shoryuken one is.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
this
Third
shit
strike.
All right, what's your number 4, man?
My number 4 is, so speaking of Shinku Hadouken, is
Yeah.
Shinku Hadouken, but
Nice.
Wow.
but it's specifically the one from the Versus series. So from like X-Men vs Street Fighter, Marvel vs Street Fighter. Like, do you remember the beginning Versus games?
Oh yeah, like X-Men
yeah.
versus Street Fighter
The
and stuff?
2D
Yeah.
ones, because the 2D
Yeah.
ones, and to a lesser extent, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I just like the way they look in like the 2D ones. It's like it's a stream of, and he basically throws a Kamehameha.
yeah,
Yeah, Kamehameha.
It's just like this ultra beam. By the way, Chris, just fun fact: you can safely say 2D here all you want.
Oh, that's I like that. Thank you. That's
Huh?
Of course.
you
Yes.
have no idea how much that means to me.
Anyway, all right. What's your number 3, man?
Number 3 is one of my favorite characters. It's Rock Howard's Raising Storm. Now, Rock Howard's not a big character. He's only been in he has one official title, but he's also in Capcom vs. SNK 2. But
Okay.
in Fatal Fury and Mark of the Wolves, which was the last Fatal Fury game they ever made.
Yeah.
That was his introduction. He's the son of Geese Howard, and he was raised by Terry Bogard. Like, he's like a character that was designed for me. If you know me, my email address, my PlayStation ID, my Steam, everything that I ever use on the internet is Rock Bogard, because it's Rock Howard's first name, Terry Bogard's last name. And so he does this move called Raising Storm, and he like screams out like broken English, like Raising Gustomu, and yeah, I don't know. I love it because he screams it. Like, the voice acting on that move is kind of what makes it one of my favorite moves. I'll play it for you guys later.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Number 2.
All right, number 2 is the other half of Rock Bogard, is Terry Bogard. Okay?
Okay.
It's Power Geyser. You know Power Geyser?
Oh my gosh. Yes, of course.
I was yelling this at Brian when he was playing Dark Souls, because there's this enemy that did that. I was like, Power Geyser!
It was amazing. Yeah, dude. Terry Bogard, Fountain of Power.
Terry Bogard is a fountain of power. So whenever we play, Brian knows this, but like we used to play Capcom vs. SNK 2 a whole lot, and Terry Bogard is my favorite fighting game, maybe my second favorite video game character behind Mega Man, like in general.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I pick him if he's available. I pick him in any game. But no,
absolutely.
Power Geyser he punches the ground and so hard that like energy just erupts, and it's a fountain. Yeah, it's crazy. Terry Bogard he's my favorite character, favorite fighting game.
Yeah, man.
So with that said, my number 1 is Terry Bogard's other super move.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I can't.
That's okay.
I could not do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's Buster Wolf, and you know Buster Wolf is
Yes.
his greatest attack in the world, because he asks you your status before he does the move. He asks you if you're okay, right? Connor, have you seen this move before?
I don't think I have.
So he screams out, "Are you okay?" Right? And then proceeds to like rocket punch you in the face, and Power just like,
"Are you okay?"
And then screams out Buster Wolf, but in a very broken English. Like, it's more like Buster Whirl. Buster Whirl.
Buster Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
and the way he holds his arm, so he hits with it and then holds his arm like a Mega Buster, which is also why I like it. He puts the arm on his, like he's shooting like Samus's like gun or something. Like, he's holding his arm as the power is coming out. The power is not coming out of his fist; it's coming from around his body. But he's like focusing it through like the Mega Man pose, and that's why I really like it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Awesome. Good. Oh.
Yeah, I know, that was weird. We said
Anyway.
that at the same time. Good list. That was a good list. I'll go next here.
Fine then.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, we're gonna save the best for last, Connor.
Yeah, whatever.
I tell him that so he feels better.
Whatever you say.
He can hear you.
Oh, whoops. All right, number 5. I put Scorpion's Flaming Skull Fatality from Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Because it is just a classic. Because in reality, it's like one of the less violent fatalities of Mortal Kombat, because he just breathes the fire and they turn into a perfect skeleton who just falls to its knees.
At least it's quick.
Yeah.
Like, some of the fatalities are just brutal. At least it's just like,
absolutely.
Okay.
He only vaporizes their skin. It's pretty light.
I mean, at least it's over like in like half a second.
Absolutely. So number 4, I put Akuma's Raging Demon.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Because it's left to the imagination. You kind of like, you see the punches and kicks and stuff, but I love the fact that, I mean, I'm sure there's games where you can see it.
Well, I have an explanation of what happens if you care to hear.
What happens?
So what Akuma does is he drags you down into hell.
Okay.
What, like that flash is that's what that is, and
Okay.
then all your sins like attract all the demons and they attack you, and then he brings you back to the real world. And it's
cool.
it's way cooler.
That's
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard
fun
that, but
fact
that's
for
cool.
So for number 3, I put Faust's Butt Poke from Guilty Gear.
Yeah. I've been hit with this many a time.
Because it's the sheer horrific discomfort on the faces of the people that it's happening to.
Are great.
That make that move so hilarious. And it does so much damage if you can do it. I love it so much. Faust is one of my favorite characters of all time. Because he's just like a 9-foot tall psychopath. And then number 2, I put, and this counts, I put Cloud's Omnislash.
That's fine.
Oh, dude, that counts.
There's just nothing cooler than seeing this. I mean, Cloud's not like a weakling, but he's also really skinny.
He's like 5'9".
the sheer logistics of him like holding that Buster Sword in and of itself is ridiculous, but the fact that he can swing it like I don't know, like a pool noodle is ridiculous. But yeah, one of my favorite moves of all time. Honorable mention before I go to number 1, I put Kung Lao's head split, where he throws the hat into the ground, and you know, I mean, you can use your imagination. We won't go into detail, but it's just. Actually, you know what? I'll put the flower pot as well. If you don't know what that is, look it up.
Mean.
And then number 1, my favorite finishing move of all time is Smoke's bombs from Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh, dude, that's perfect.
Where he literally just explodes the planet because he doesn't want you to win.
Well, that's the thing, is that he wins the fight, but he's just like, you know what? This isn't good enough. I'm taking the world. The world's going down.
I love how long it goes.
Yeah.
And there's like 20 nukes.
Bloom! And the camera zooms out, the earth
Smoke
shakes
wins.
for a second, and then just pops. But the announcer still says smoke wins.
Yeah.
Says it to nobody. Nobody can hear you, announcer. But yeah, so that's my top 5, my quick list.
Awesome. Not from me. It's all me. So, number 5. I got the Here's Johnny one. I forget the real name of it, but the one where Johnny Cage just spins you around and just goes and like splits your midsection open and goes, "Here's Johnny," and I'm like, further cementing why Johnny Cage is my favorite Mortal Kombat character. I love him. And next up, 4. So if Johnny Cage is my favorite Mortal Kombat character, Zangief is my favorite Street Fighter character.
Nice.
The bullshit Russian suplex from Street Fighter 5, where it just suplexes you into the ground. I love suplexes. 3
times.
Like, as a person, I just love suplexes.
Suplexes are
like,
amazing.
Anywhere where suplexes are had, like, it's just the best.
All good.
And then number 3, kind of a different choice here, but whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. So, I love Vegeta, and there's a game where you can play as Vegeta, and it's a fight game.
It's true.
Okay, 3. Yeah. So, Final Flash, where it zooms out, and there's just this where you goes Final Flash, and then zooms out and on the planet, and there's just this giant yellow beam going off into space. You're like, that guy's dead. Number 2, Soul Bad Guys Dragon Upload.
Oh, dude, that's a good one.
Because the design's cool, but it's the music that gets me. Where it's like, it's like, oh, it's so cool. It's like any super that just changes the music of the game is like, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
And
good choice.
Good choice. You look like a sick dragon dude.
That's a super solid choice.
Especially in Exerd.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then number 1, Triforce Slash from Smash Bros, where you get the Smash, Link's Final Smash.
Oh, Link's Final Smash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where he just is like, he'd like, oh, it's so cool. Where like the light comes out of his Triforce in the hand, and then he does like sick, like Omni slashes to people.
It's basically an Omni slash, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It was.
That's such a cool move.
So cool. Because I wish Link did that in the games, but whatever.
I know.
But yeah.
I know, that would make the game so much easier if he was just Omni slashing everything.
Oh, dude,
they should, you know what? Make it New Game Plus. Just, you know, infinite limit breaks with Link. You'll just like go up. You go up to like a Deku shrub and you Omni slash it.
Oh man, that'd be nice. I like how it's not even called Omni Slash, but that's like the closest like thing I can describe to people who haven't seen it.
That's awesome. So that was the quick list for this week.
Yes.
Good stuff in there.
Very solid.
I like
list.
the eclectic lists.
Yeah.
A lot of different stuff in there, so that was fun. We are going to go straight into our mini boss segment for the week.
Mini. Haven't done that in a while.
Mini and the boss.
On the boss.
So,
I gotta make up for it because the quick list was kind of So
no, the quick list was amazing.
It was amazing, but like I gotta bring it back from me.
Okay.
For me.
Jeez, you're so selfish.
Yes.
The mini boss segment this week is going to be just a free-form fighting game discussion. So,
Fight games, we like them.
It's going to be the equivalent of us going to a park and doing capoeira in the grass. So.
Only the strong.
Yes, exactly. So, fighting games. Do you guys like them?
No.
They're okay.
Cool. Discussion over. We're moving on to the news.
Wait. Anyway, news.
So, I'll start off, man. I'll tell you, like, the one thing that I was just thinking about, and I think it's such a good time to be a fighting game fan right now.
Absolutely.
Especially in the United States. So there's been two real, I think, just thriving ages for fighting games, and that was in the 90s when the United States had like a ton of arcades just everywhere. You can go to a gas station and there would be a Street Fighter 2 cabinet in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first time I played Street Fighter 2 was in a AM/PM in Rodeo, California. And so the 90s was a great era to play fighting games in because of arcades, but now the current day is like close to it. Like if we had arcades, it'd be better, but we don't. The only reason it's not better is we don't have arcades to go and hang out at anymore. But dude, if you think about it, there are so many fighting games out right now, more than ever, and we get games that wouldn't normally come to the United States. So because of Steam, because of digital distribution, we get basically every fighting game. And I love that.
Even the really simple, obscure indie ones.
Yeah. Like Yatagarasu, and then I just read on Steam yesterday that Kohime Enbu, which is this super obscure Japanese fighting game. I played it in arcades in Japan, right? And but I played it there because I was like, what's this? I've never seen this before. And I played it. And I was like, that was cool. This is never coming to America. And it's coming next month for no reason.
Awesome.
Dude, nobody's gonna buy it. But I'm happy that it's coming because it's a cool game. It's got really cool 2D animation. But the fact that it's coming in general just speaks to the age that we're living in. Digital distribution has made it so that it's easy for developers and publishers to bring games over, and
which is awesome.
That same platform allows us to play games online, good. Street Fighter 5. I'm playing online on a daily basis, and the connection is good, man. It's so cool to be able to play people worldwide in your home.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous.
That's another thing, is that you don't have to pump in a whole bunch of quarters nowadays too.
You just got to pump in a whole bunch of quarters on the front end.
The internet is the new arcade, basically.
It is. It really is. However, there's nothing quite like going to an arcade and fighting a friend standing right next to you with a crappy CRT monitor that's slightly yellowing.
Absolutely.
It's delightful.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things ever. Speaking of which, one of my favorite things ever is in fighting games has always been secrets and unlocks.
Mm-hmm.
So Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter not so much, but Mortal Kombat will forever be the king of secrets and unlocks.
Absolutely.
And stuff. There was Ed Boon and John Tobias back in the 90s had just this obsession with putting a bunch of really obscure, weird stuff that it was really hard to find in their games. I don't know if you heard about this, Chris, but did you hear about I think they're called the EBJ menus?
I don't think so.
Just last month or 2 months ago, some dude discovered these hidden menus that Ed Boon had put into all of the original Mortal Kombat cabinets 1, 2, and 3.
Really?
There's a certain button combination that you can press with the 2 block buttons that will access this secret Ed Boon menu.
Dude,
where he
Brian.
Yeah.
I have a Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 cabinet. You know that?
Dude. That's right, you do.
Whoa!
So, I will literally try this.
Dude, we went to the arcade a while back, and I tried it on all of them, and they all worked. And
what does
for Mortal Kombat 1, it's just got credits. It's got a thank you thing that he put in there for his family and whatnot. But then you can access everybody's endings just right away.
Just to put a quarter in to do this? Or can you just walk up to a cabinet and do this combination and then it just
You can literally just walk up to a cabinet while it's in demo mode and push the button combinations and it will fire up these menus. In Mortal Kombat 2, it's the same thing. It's just thank you, credits. You can see how many quarters have been put into the machine as well as all the endings. But Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is where it's at. Because the menu in that one, you get all that same stuff, endings, credits, blah, but you can also go straight to the Galaga game that they put in it.
What?
There's a version of Galaga in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 that's got the Mortal Kombat announcer being excellent when you do well and stuff. But then you can also do the Ultimate Fatality demonstration, where it will show you every single finishing move in the entire game in rapid succession without you touching anything.
That's insane. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's freaking dope, man. And you have to press the buttons really fast, and it's really intricate. But if you can get it, it's one of the most rewarding, satisfying things ever. Look it up, and I recommend trying that out today, dude. You'll love it.
If you think about if you knew that in the arcades in like 1995 when you were like 12 or 11 years old, right?
You'd be
go
a king.
in there. You'd be a king. You'd be a literal. They would carry you out like Rudy at the end of Rudy.
No joke, dude. I actually, when we went there was some dude who was trying it on Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 because I had found out the day before, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this. And there was a dude, and he was doing it, and he's like, I just can't get it, man. It's almost impossible to do on Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. And I was like, well, I'll give it a try. On like my second or third try, I got it. He was like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
And then I fired it up, and we all just sat there like we were watching fireworks on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Like, I had my arm around my girlfriend, and we were just like,
look at this
Auld Lang
brutal
Syne.
murder.
It was amazing.
Everybody's hugging.
Like, my favorite thing about that thing is that Ed Boon is still like, hey, there's still hidden stuff in MK2.
Yeah,
even after that.
He said that recently. He said, oh, there's still stuff in the original games that people haven't found yet.
Dude,
and
that's
it's been like
cool.
20 years.
I just want there to be a new character. Like, he's just so patient that he just put a new character in there that he's just like, it's going to come out one
Dude, there were so many secrets in Mortal Kombat back in the day that they ended up making real, like, characters, you know?
Yeah.
Later on.
Like Ermac.
Like
Ermac,
Ermac, exactly.
Based on like a funny piece of text. In
Error
the coding.
macro is what Ermac stands for.
Right.
Exactly. And now he's like one of the most viable, really good characters in the entire series.
He's such a cool character.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize that fighting games almost died, like, as a
Yeah,
genre
they
completely.
absolutely did.
And that those Street Fighter games, no matter how terrible they were, kept that alive.
Well, they started going downhill a lot
Yeah.
with the Street Fighter games.
Well, Street Fighter had
well,
had a period where they were dead too. Like after Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, there was a period of like a decade where they did not make a mainline Street Fighter game. They didn't make the mainline Street Fighter game until Street Fighter 4 in 2009.
yeah.
And that's kind of when the boom happened again.
Because
it was.
Street Fighter 4 and MK9 came out roughly around the same time, right?
MK9 came out in
that's 2011.
10. It came out in 2010. Actually, no, I think
it was
might have come out in
2011.
2009 also.
I think it was 2011.
I was in the military. Yeah, no, it was April of 2011. You are correct.
Yeah, because anyway.
That is correct.
But awesome.
That game blew my mind. It was just like, hey, Mortal Kombat isn't taken serious by the fighting game community because it's kind of broken and it's not balanced in the slightest.
They made those 3D ones that were they weren't received super well, like Deadly Alliance and Deception and stuff.
Well, that's what I mean. Like those are the games that kind of kept it barely afloat.
Yep, and even the 2D ones, like Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, those are not like balanced competitive fighting games at all.
Sweep, high punch, I win.
And then Mortal Kombat 9 showed up, and it was like, hey, we know how to make ultra good competitive fighting games too, and everybody was like, what? So, I love that.
And Mortal Kombat 2011 was the right game for the right time, I think, too, because
absolutely
they made that game like a reboot. They just called it Mortal Kombat. And they rebooted the storyline in it, basically, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they had the best story mode in any fighting game to date. I still think that's the best story mode.
It's really solid because it
100%.
goes through the first 3 MK games again.
Yeah. And you get to play as all the different characters with different stuff going on. It just gives you a full-on feel like you're in the universe, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that was a good game.
The storyline in Mortal Kombat X was really good too.
Mortal Kombat X
wasn't as
also
good
a
as
good
MK9.
game. It wasn't as thorough as MK9's, but it was still good.
Sure.
That, to me, I love good story, but to me, in fighting games, the story comes secondary.
Absolutely.
Sure, but if they can nail the story,
Yeah.
then awesome.
Like it helps. It's like Call of Duty. Like I don't play Call of Duty for the story.
Yeah.
Or fighting games for the story.
Absolutely.
So,
It's icing on the cake. It's like you got a solid fighting game here, guys. Thanks, for that. But if you add a story mode, then it's just like you can get more invested in the characters in the world.
Exactly. It's even better.
Yeah.
So what about Chris? I wanted to ask you because
Yes.
I haven't really gotten a chance to talk to you much about it. We've fought a couple times, but how do you view Street Fighter V in the world of fighting games right now? Like, where does it stand to you?
I really like Street Fighter V mechanically. I love it from a gameplay standpoint. I really think that they did a good job with the flow of the fight. It feels a lot more like 2 and 3. It feels a lot like Alpha 3 to me. If you guys played that. So in this game we have crush counters, and in crush counters they put the opponent into a juggle state. And in Alpha 3, if you got a counter hit it would put them into a juggle state as well. And in Alpha 3, you could aerial recover. So if you press the 2 punches, your character would pop out of their fall animation, and you could land on your feet. But you can also air block in that game. So you had to aerial recover, otherwise you're going to get juggled and juggled and juggled across the screen. And so when people don't play Alpha 3, you knock them up, and then you hit them again, and you hit them again. And they're like, dude, I got to hit the ground sometime. And you're like, yeah, you got to aerial recover, dog.
It's like Tekken. Tekken is like the king of air juggling games.
I think Tekken's so funny because like there's been those videos of that guy, not to get off topic real quick, but there's the videos of that guy on YouTube doing like the real life versions of the Tekken move lists. You know what I'm talking about?
Gosh, that dude's a beast.
Yeah, it's awesome. But like it's funny because he's proving that like, hey, wait a minute, Tekken is like the most realistic fighting game out.
Because all of the moves can be done.
All of the moves are real for the most part.
Until you get Akuma in the new one.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be doing. I don't think you can do Devil Jin's moveset very easily. But but no, he did like Hwoarang, and then he did Jin, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's funny because like the moves are realistic, but in Tekken you can do like. You can knock somebody in the air, and then you can jab, like just a quick pop, and then I keep that knocks them back up into the float state, you know? And so I don't know, it's funny because if you actually look at what's happening, like if you jab somebody, it just keeps their entire like 250-pound body just like suspended in air.
Floating in the air.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if that was real, and like, dude, MMA fights would be so much more fun.
It'd be combo meters on the screen.
Just Anderson Silva is just juggling dudes in the air just by like jabbing.
That's the next step. We just take it to the moon.
Just anti-gravity MMA fights. I'm ready.
I love it. I kind of want to say that compared to you guys, I'm kind of new to this whole fighting game thing. I mean, like I've played them my whole life, but I'm really only getting like serious into them.
Yeah.
Right now, but it's like it's good to learn like all these it's just, dude, fighting games are awesome. Like they're unlike any form of other game out there because there's such like a high learning curve, but such like a good reward system, if that makes sense. But it's just ridiculous.
Here's what it is. It's it's PvP, right? And so like I have buddies at my work that they play a lot of MMOs, and are always like the main draw for this game is their PvP system. And I'm like, dude, if you want PvP, play Street Fighter 5. And they're like, what? Yeah. They're like, why? I'm like, because it's literal like the just embodiment of pure PvP. There's no pay to win mechanics that you hate. There's no like leveling, like you're level 20, he's level 30, so he's gonna win. It's you versus the other person. Not even so much the character versus the character. It's you as a player versus them as a player. Because it's how much you've learned this game, how much they've learned this game, you applying your skill against the other person. Yeah. It's a pure form of PvP.
And it's the quickest turnarounds of like, wow, I suck, I should go home and practice. Yeah. And then it's like there's been weeks where Brian has just annihilated me, and next week he'll be like, all right, I got to practice a little bit. And then he'll be like, I took a game off him. So I was like, all right. So I ruined his goal of perfecting me.
Whatever. No, I was proud of the fact that you were able to take me.
But it's like, so I don't know, not to understate your thing, but it's like.
So you don't level up in a traditional sense like an MMO or anything, right? But you do level up. You level up yourself as a human, as a player, and so it's you can iron out weaknesses. You can learn new skills. I mean, you can actually do the same things that you can do in like an MMO, but like you're doing it to you on a personal level.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, like fighting games are so awesome and unique in that you can have like the most insanely high-end tournament level, ultra precise, like counting frames level fighters, but then you could take 2 kids, 2 7-8-year-old kids, give them a controller and watch them button mash at each other, and they're gonna have a blast.
Oh yeah.
So
that's
what
it's
we
like
used to do when we were kids.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was talking to, actually, I probably should say this for podcast, but I was talking to Chris before it, and we were talking about how Melee does that really well.
Yeah.
Where there's this whole like layer that you would never recognize if you were just playing the game. You're like, let's hit each other with Mario or whatever, like as kids, but like there's like a whole depth to it.
Yeah.
I know you don't really consider Smash a fighting game, Brian.
I've never said that.
Have you not? I thought you did.
No, not one time. Smash is 100% a fighting game to the fullest degree.
I will retract that statement then.
I said Smash is not a traditional fighting game.
Okay, yeah. Oh, of course, yeah.
Smash is its own beast, man.
Okay.
I've never taken
Gotcha.
any credit away from Smash players or the Smash universe at all.
Gotcha. For some reason, I thought you said
Making
that. Anyway,
to be a bad guy.
yeah, whatever. I didn't
You're
mean
such
to.
a bad guy.
I'm sole bad guy.
Smash strikes a really good balance between casual and hardcore because
Agreed.
and there's no mode selecting like in Marvel vs. Capcom. They used to have like easy and manual, where if you press actually nowadays if you Guilty Gear just added the new Guilty Gear version Revelator added stylish and technical. So if you pick stylish, you can just run in and press any buttons you want and you'll combo. It's just like easy mode.
Auto combo. Okay, so like Persona 4 Arena kind of.
Yes,
where,
but Persona 4 they don't let you choose it. It just kind of it's built into the mechanics of the game. And Smash strikes this balance of like anybody can pick it up and immediately recognize the characters, immediately recognize the stages, and press the 3 or 4 buttons that the game has because it's designed to be simple, but they designed it wisely so that if you want to dig in and get deep, you can start getting into this incredibly deep competitive Smash scene that you would never see if you didn't want to see it.
Well, because there's not a technical barrier for Smash. Like you can just jump in and be like, all right, A's are normal attack, B's are special attack, go.
Right.
Okay. X is jump. R's like
anything's jump. Up is jump.
Yeah, anything's jump. And that's one thing. The newer ones you can button map. You can change your button maps to just be something stupid,
which is awesome.
Which I love it.
Yeah.
Change it to whatever you want.
But it goes right to the meat of like fighting games, which is like the fundamentals and like mind games. Like,
mind games are super important. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's one reason I think I could pick up like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat so quick is because I played Smash for a long time, so like I understand like what mind games and mix-ups are like, but like the only thing I need to learn is like combos and
execution,
execution.
Yeah, and so that's what Street Fighter V does. I think great is that it creates this new meta mind game. The mind games of Street Fighter V are intense in my opinion because the damage output in that game is massive. If you make a mistake and somebody has full meter, you will eat like 60 to 70% of your life bar if they know what they're doing. And it's crazy.
That's so devastating too when that happens. You're like, I've made a terrible mistake, and you can see the punish coming. You're like, oh good, here we go.
Dude,
and blah, 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 blah.
Comebacks are just the best.
Yeah.
Where some dude's at like the magic pixel and it's just like, hey, 70% combo, win. Like, okay.
And I like that though because it makes this risk reward like a setup so devastating in Street Fighter V because you can use your meter for EX moves, right? But you might not want to because your super move does so much damage in this game. You might want to save it, and so it's this risk reward system that just it makes the game very intense to me. I don't really like that.
Man.
It's not now just to bring it back a little bit to Street Fighter V. It's not without its faults, right? Like mechanically, I think it's a great game. It's a little bare bones, right? Like especially if we were talking about Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 9 or 10 like is a complete game. You pop that game in, you have no shortage of things to complete and to do. No shortage of characters to play as. And so Street Fighter V is it's a little bare. Maybe they released it ahead of when maybe they should have, but the way I look at it is we could have waited for them to make all the characters, all the stages, everything, and include it, and then release it like in Christmas 2016, or we could have gotten it in February, and maybe I consider it like I guess like an early access game on Steam, right? Like they're releasing content over the course of this year, but we got it early, so I'd rather have it now and be able to play it. Rather than wait for the full thing because I think it's a really good game. I just think it needs more, and more is coming. More is coming.
Yeah, I'd say in about a year, that game is going to be just like it's going to flourish to this huge game with so much to do.
When you get to the super equivalent, like Super Street Fighter 5, which I know they're not doing that with this one, but like that would be like
when they have enough content to constitute a Super Street Fighter 5 level.
They're adding characters. They're adding a what they say is a huge cinematic story mode, which should be pretty cool.
I'm really interested to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, they've never done that in a Street Fighter game.
Right.
I actually do care about the story of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Vaguely. I just like Nash's story because he's the most OP person in Street Fighter.
He's so emo though. He's like, I died.
He is now. He used to not be. I guess dying takes it out of you.
Yeah, I guess so. Awesome. Well, hey, if if there's nothing else you guys want to touch on.
Fighting games are great. Everybody should play fighting games.
Yes.
100%.
I think everyone should try them.
Yeah, at least try them if you haven't.
There is a game
Even if
out
you're
there
like,
for you. If you think it's too technical, then there are games out there. There's like Dead or Alive, there's Soul Calibur, there's Persona, there's the new Guilty Gear like we talked about. Like there are games that are welcoming to newer players, and there's always Smash too if you want to
Yeah.
have a party.
And then like I totally forgot what I was gonna say.
There's a
No,
game out
I mean,
there
like,
for
the thing is there's so, I mean, yes, fighting games on paper is, one-on-one, you pick a character, they pick a character, you fight, but the styles and gameplay mechanics are so varied and such a huge assortment of different styles and types and feels that there is definitely a fighting game out there that will feel good and connect with any type of gamer.
Yeah.
So, fighting games.
Yes.
Good stuff.
We love them.
So, we are going to move straight on into the news. News. That's our little soundbite there. All right.
Why do we do that every time?
I don't know.
Like,
Because
You
cut
pause.
it out.
I know, we pause. There's no reason to do that because I just clip it right out.
A couple episodes you said that, and I thought that was pretty funny.
All right, Connor, tell us what's going on in the world of the news.
I got the vid game news this week. So first up, Rainbow Six Siege next operation, which is like the update things they call them, has been announced.
Okay.
On the attacker side, you guys know Rainbow Six works, right?
Yep.
It's like an attacker and defending side. So on the attacker side, there's a character named Blackbeard who has like a weapon with like a shield in front of it. So it's kind of like a mix between it'd be interesting to see how that works.
Sure.
I love this game, by the way. And then the defender has like cameras, like sticky cameras that you can put up in corners and whatnot, and has like a shotgun. So that'll be like a whole new like depth to that whole.
Sure.
That'd be interesting. And then Mira in Killer Instinct came out this week.
Okay.
And I kind of want to talk to her, kind of piggyback off the fighting game thing. Her whole system revolves around her attacks taking her life.
Weird.
But if you finish a combo like with a finisher, you get that life back.
Interesting.
So she has a base moveset that's better than the cast, but has that whole risk reward thing, which I don't think you've seen in any other fighting game.
That's really cool.
Dude, Killer Instinct has some crazy stuff going
I love
on.
Killer Instinct.
Props to them for doing like Aganos. That man creates corner traps mid-stage. What is that? I love it. So that's pretty much it. If you have Killer Instinct, go check that out. And then Fox News talked about The Division this week.
Oh, dude, I saw this.
I
It's
saw
so
that
funny.
too.
If you haven't seen this clip, it's Fox News. Everything an 18-year-old needs to know. Go and look that up. It's just the best.
Dude, just getting mad at
That dude
Dude,
is
just
he is
like-
not happy
like
with the
getting
Division
janked in the
update.
dark zone. Like, I hate it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That dude is not happy.
That dude looked like he knew what he's talking about.
It
too.
totally was.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he played the Division. He was. It was way too precise for him to not to be
Oh,
reading
yeah.
off a teleprompter.
That's just amazing. So, they added basketball and Rocket League this week. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
I forgot
I
about
remember-
that. I've been playing that. I forgot to tell you. I forgot to say that in the beginning.
I brought that up in the news a couple episodes ago, saying that it was coming. So the fact that it came out, I'm really pumped. I want to try that out. I think it sounds really fun.
It is
Yeah.
super fun.
Cool. And so the third season of the Walking Dead game has been announced.
Oh, cool.
Clementine will be back. I'm not sure. They didn't really specify if she'll be a main character or like a returning character. So we'll see how that goes. I love those games. Are sick. So-
Telltale games are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If at sometimes a little slow, but they're great. Adventure games are like that though.
Yeah. Wow, that is the next progression of point and click.
Yeah, it totally is.
Anyway, next up, so there's a leak this week for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which kind of piqued my interest because there are a lot of theories rolling around that might be like time travel based. So we might get that World War II game after all. So John Romero just made a new level for the original Doom.
Oh,
Like
wait, what?
Like a brand new level.
Yeah,
You can
I saw
download
that.
it.
That's amazing.
So
I need that in my
you
life.
can go play a new level of Doom.
I love Doom.
I'm sure it took him like 20 minutes to do. Like,
Yeah.
freaking new.
John Romero is making a new game. You guys seen that Kickstarter?
Yeah, like it was. What I forget. I've seen it. I
Is he
totally
really?
forget
Yeah, he's trying to
what
kickstart a
it is,
game.
though.
And
Is it a first-person shooter?
Yes, it's a first-person shooter in
Yeah.
the style of the ones he made. It's called Black Room.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're hearing about
That
this.
sounds awesome.
you should
I
check it
wanna
out.
that
Yeah, it looks really good.
As long as it's nothing like Daikatana, I'm in.
It's not.
Daikatana, dude. If Daikatana had like another year, it probably could have been good.
I don't know.
You guys know what Daikatana means?
2 katanas.
Bad game.
It means big katana.
Oh. it means big Japanese sword.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So Zelda got delayed until 2017.
Yep.
I saw this coming.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they were going to push it back because they're going to want to release it on the NX as well.
I don't care. The last time I got mad at a game for being pushed back was Twilight Princess, and then Twilight Princess came out and it was magical.
Yeah.
So this
I'm a
is
little
fine.
bummed by that. Can I tell you why?
Go ahead.
And look, I'm super hyped for that game. But the only reason I'm a little bummed by it is because it means that the Wii U is going to be the only Nintendo system that did not get its own dedicated Zelda game.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's the only one. Every other system has its own a Zelda game that is only available on that system.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
I was about to say the HD remakes, but
Can you count Hyrule Warriors?
oh well.
No, because
but
that's
they
on
put
3DS.
that on 3DS. Dang.
Hey. That's Legend. Whatever. Who cares? I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah,
That's funny.
but it's all good. That game looks phenomenal. I can't wait for that game to come out.
I will wait another decade for that game if it means it will be good.
Well,
Right.
I guarantee you the reason why they're doing it is because they had a ridiculous amount of success with porting it to the Wii U as a launch title because that was what people bought the most when they bought their Wiis.
Oh yeah, no, they need launching a Nintendo console with a Zelda game is a smart move.
Instant money, yeah, for sure.
Whatever. Also, no NX at E3 this year.
That's right. I'm actually really surprised at that, but
I'm also.
at the same time, like, I understand why, because they don't want to get overshadowed by anything. They want to
Yeah.
wait till there's like it's like slow in the gaming news, and where they can control it and have their own event and be like, blah blam, here's the NX. There's no Sony stuff going on. There's no Microsoft stuff going on to take your attention away. Here it is. Check it out. Love it. Get excited for it. Coming March 2017.
Yeah, and that's the thing is
Also,
Nintendo they don't do their news. They don't do their big reveals at E3. They do their own Nintendo Directs.
Yeah. I kind of miss Nintendo's press conferences though.
Yeah.
They were fun.
Also, like I think they're kind of playing it smart because there's a lot of hype going around with that NX just because no one knows what it is.
Yeah.
Like, because there's that fake controller that came out a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And then, but like, I don't know. I think they're kind of trying to like, we'll let it cook in the oven for a little bit longer.
Sure. All I know is that they're going to be going with, like, it's all but confirmed, but they are going to be going with another screen controller again. They're not going to be doing like a hardcore gamer controller.
Okay. All right. Anyway, Miitomo reaches 10 million users.
Ugh.
What? I like Miitomo. I still like Miitomo.
You love that
told-
game, Brian, huh?
I uninstalled the crap.
Did you
out of
really?
that
Because
game.
you're the one who told me about it.
I know. I was like, this is fun, and then I was like, is this all there is to do? And then I uninstalled it.
I like it. I like messing with my friends, but giving dumb answers.
I haven't
Then
messed
hoping
with
they
it
see
yet.
'em.
It's fun. I still recommend giving it a try. For me personally, I was like, there are so many other things that I would rather do than waste time on this, but it's fun.
It's one of those where I check it once a day. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Keep going. There's also Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing games coming to mobile.
Awesome.
That's awesome because Fire Emblem will work well on a mobile platform, and Animal Crossing, I just love Animal Crossing.
I think
So,
Animal Crossing would work really well on mobile, actually.
Absolutely.
Totally. Well, that means people are going to be getting hit by cars and stuff more because they're going to be crossing the street playing Animal Crossing. And
Nintendo's going to be responsible for the downfall of society.
Person hit crossing while playing Animal Crossing. Alright. So, as we talked before, Guile and Air Force Base came out. And Street
Oh,
Fighter V.
yeah. You guys hear that song? You guys hear the new song?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
dude, I love it. I like that it's the same stage and it's the same people. Like, those guys have just been hanging out under that F-14 Tomcat for, like, 20
some odd
years.
my favorite part of Guile is not the hair, but it's the two USA flags
Oh, yeah.
on both of his arms.
Yeah.
It's like,
You know
I
the
know
story
that was
behind
that
that,
was
right?
like a pilot thing back in the day, but they just made it canon. They're like, why not?
Yeah,
The-
absolutely.
You know why they did that, right? Like, in the original Street Fighter 2, they flipped the sprite.
Yeah, that's what he
I-
just said. He
that's
said
what I
it was a palette swap.
like
Oh,
that- why- I
palette
said it
swap.
weird.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that
I
part.
said it weird, but yeah, but I just love how they're like, okay, whatever. We'll just make it.
Yeah, we'll just give him 2 American flags. He's just super patriotic.
But they owned it.
Yeah.
They like made it canon. You know, they're like, nah.
Yeah.
We didn't flip the sprite. We
He
didn't
loves
flip,
America.
We didn't flip the
love that.
sprite. Dude's got 2 USA tattoos. You don't like USA? He's got 2 USA tattoos.
He's got 2 of them.
He
You only
loves
got
it.
1? Wow, what an unpatriot. What a communist.
Yeah, you're not as patriotic as Guile.
No, I don't think anybody is really.
So apparently Doom's developers can't beat Doom on the hardest difficulty,
That's amazing.
which is the best way to be like, hey, this game's really hard.
Challenge accepted.
And then there's gonna be someone who beats it day 1 on hard stuff. Like,
Probably.
This is so hard. I beat it when I was 12.
Oh,
I
that
beat,
new Doom looks so good.
I finally beat Doom 3 on the absolute hardest difficulty level.
Yeah.
So I was pretty proud of myself with that. So
I'm looking forward to that game. Comes out in like 2 weeks. Like that, May 13th, I think, is what it was. Which I think is Friday the 13th, actually. Anyway, so Punisher spinoff series confirmed.
Yep.
Talked about it a little bit earlier.
Oh,
I'm
I
super
see.
excited.
I spoiled it.
yes,
Yeah, because
All the news.
y'all know I love me some Punisher.
yes you do.
I love me some where his superpower is man with gun.
Dude, I love the Punisher. The Punisher's like Batman, except he kills people.
Better.
Exactly. No, he's definitely.
I went there.
He's definitely not
Whatever.
better than Batman. I'm sorry.
Whatever. Anyway, and also finishing this up here. So Baby Metal is in Mario Maker.
Yes.
It's like their level, and it's the best.
I actually showed that level to Connor last night on Super Mario Maker. The fact that you get to play as all 3 of the girls from Baby Metal at once, running together in tandem.
Yelling Japanese words.
In
Yelling
Mario
all these-
Maker?
Yeah.
It's
In
amazing.
America?
Yeah. And then like the picture's just a big like the album art of the new album. It's like
Chris, I don't know if you know this, but Baby Metal is actually one of the most popular music acts in America right now.
I did not know that they were popular in the United States.
They are blowing up huge in the United States.
We love them.
Wow.
Huge.
Cool.
They've played shows and festivals with like Slayer and Metallica and
Wow.
yeah, they're huge, man. It's legit to
Well,
the fullest.
That's it for
That's
the
it for
news.
news?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good
Okay.
news.
Some good
Good
stuff
news
in there.
segment.
Good
Yeah.
news.
I was worried I wasn't able to find stuff because the beginning of the week nothing happened, and then Wednesday and Thursday happened.
That's why I always do news the morning of the podcast, so
Yeah.
I don't miss anything.
I do it like
interesting.
late at night.
I know, but knowing our luck, we'd be recording and they would release it. Sony
NX is out now.
Yes.
Ah.
Sony and Microsoft are creating the Playbox 460.
The X station. I was about to say box station.
Box station.
Box station 4360.
460. Awesome. All right, so we're going to move straight into our final boss segment, which is part 3 of our top 10 series.
Yeah.
And this top 10 is going to focus on the generation of the PlayStation 1, the Nintendo 64, and the Sega Saturn, that era.
Yes.
So I'm actually really excited to hear everybody's lists. Because
Yeah.
this was half really easy and half really hard. It was
Yeah.
like half easy coming up with everything, but it was hard putting them in order.
In order. Yeah.
So, Connor, why don't you start us off, man?
Start us off with one. So at the bottom of the list is kind of an unorthodox pick, but I play this a lot with my cousins. Is The World Is Not Enough.
Okay, number 10, World Is Not Enough.
I played this
Hey, that's a good game.
almost as much as I played GoldenEye. It's good.
Yeah.
It still holds up kind of pretty well, actually.
Do you have a cart of it?
I do.
Awesome.
We should play it
We should.
because there's some good levels in that. Actually, some good
I've actually
multiplayer
never
levels.
played it, so I'd be
It's
interested in checking it out.
fun. Like you have to take it with a grain of salt because it is like a decade old,
Sure.
15 years old at this point. I think it came out in 2000, 2001. But
Awesome.
it's still a solid game.
Yeah. Number 9?
Number 9, StarCraft 64. This is the only StarCraft version I've played, and I know it's not the best, but I used to play this a lot with my cousin.
That's awesome.
And I love this game.
I don't even know how you would do that.
What?
Like an RTS with a controller? That sounds awful.
It works pretty well because you
Huh.
hold like R and Z, and you pull up your menu to build stuff, and you just go over to scroll over.
Wacky.
It works well. I
that's
love
cool.
it. It's
They made it work. Yeah, they figured it
Yeah.
out.
Well, that's cool.
until you get like 100 models on screen, and then it just crawls to 2 frames a second, and you can hear your N64 just overheating.
Right, man. What's number 8?
Mario Kart 64.
Perfect.
All the Mario Kart games are going to rate low, but they're still in my top 10
Sure.
because they're just amazing. We'll still play this game to this day because it's just amazing.
I love Mario Kart 64.
It's the best. Number 7 for me, Episode 1 Pod Racer. I've said this before, but I used to play this game a lot. This game's amazing because it's so.
The sense of speed in that game is awesome.
Because I love it because you hit go and it's like 0 to like 200 miles an hour in like half a second. Like, all right. Same with F-Zero. Like you tap the button, it's like 70. It's like I love it. Number 6, Perfect Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Solid choice.
You and I played that on the Rare Replay
Yes,
a while
we did.
back. That was fun.
That was fun. No, we can't play it. Well, I can play the cart of it,
Yeah.
I guess. I have it.
Why not?
And following up close behind that, GoldenEye. I like GoldenEye just a little bit better because it has the nostalgia factor,
Sure, of
I
course.
think. And there's not as many goofy. It's just more like a traditional shooter.
I like GoldenEye better than Perfect Dark, even though Perfect Dark has more to it.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Perfect Dark's a more complete, I think, game, but GoldenEye's just got the fun factor.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's something about it. Even though Perfect Dark has way better graphics than everything else.
Agreed.
Whatever. and you have GoldenEye levels in there and weapons. I don't know. But whatever.
Funny.
Number 4 for me, Star Fox.
Oh, that's a
64?
good, that's
Star
a good
Fox
choice.
64.
That's the stuff.
The game that's been remade 12 times.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's amazing.
It's
so.
amazing, but I just want more of the story.
Star Fox 64 is the Resident Evil 4 of, like, flying shooting games.
Well, not even that. It's like the game's been remade into new games. Like, it started off with Star Fox at the Super Nintendo, but then remade into Star Fox 64, and then there's Star Fox 64 3D, Star Fox 3D, and then there is the new one, which is a remake of Star Fox 64 or 64 again. So it's like I just want to know what happens next. Like, I know
he beats Andros. His father leads him out. Everyone's good to go. He gets a house with a white picket fence and
actually
then realizes he's a fox and
actually-
starts killing cats.
To be fair, Star Fox Assault and Command are sequels to that game. Both are solid picks. Anyway, next up, my first PS1 game, FF7.
Okay, awesome.
Played this in recent times. Is a PlayStation 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
Can't talk about much more. Super good. Number 2, Metal Gear Solid. You knew it was going to be on here, people.
I knew it.
But it's not my number 1. I can't say much more. Super good. I played that last night. It holds up really well, actually. Controls.
It's still
Oh, dude, Metal Gear Solid 1 totally holds up. That game is, I love that game.
yeah.
Is amazing.
Controls pretty well. Graphics, even though it looks like a polygon mess, if you squint really hard, it looks really good.
Dude,
I still think it looks great.
I think
even
it
though
looks
they don't
good
have
too.
faces.
For its era, it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a couple of honorable mentions here. Both of them are just really games. I have no idea what the title are because I played them when I was so young, but I remember them fondly. So that Army game I used to play with my uncle and neighbor. They both had it, and I used to go over to his house.
That Army game.
That was the official title.
What system was it on?
It was on PlayStation 1.
Okay.
And I used to play it. I'm sure you could find it, but it's like, I don't know if it's a good game or not.
Was it
It's
Spec
probably
Ops?
been- I don't know.
Was it
It's-
Army
it's,
Men?
It's the one where you are actually Army Men, and you could go around, and like the story mode was like you were really small and you were going around like a house or something.
That's Army Men.
That's Army Men.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
called
just what
Army
it's just
Men.
called
called
Army
Army
Men?
Men.
Okay, well Army Men.
That's awesome. That game is amazing.
And the mini golf game I used to play, like there's some anime inspired mini golf game that's really good.
That's awesome.
On PlayStation 1 I used to play a lot.
I have a secret love for golf games and video games.
Yeah.
I love golf games.
I love golf games because I can't play real golf.
There is a free game. When I got my Xbox One for the first time, there was a free golf game called like Power Shot Golf or something like that.
Power shot.
And it's amazing. I love that game.
It's a fighting game move.
That's awesome. All right, and what's your number one, man?
I have one more.
Oh,
that I'll mention.
sorry.
Daytona USA.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
Game's amazing.
Daytona USA for Saturn is awesome.
And number 1, you could see it coming from a mile away. Ocarina of Time.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Yeah. I gotta talk for it. That game's a masterpiece.
it is.
Straight masterpiece.
100%. Awesome. I will go next.
Yeah.
We'll save the best for last, Chris.
Thanks.
He does that to everyone, so don't worry.
So number 10, I put the very first Twisted Metal
Yeah.
for PlayStation 1. If you play it now, it's still a little wonky. It doesn't control super well, but I had more fun with that game than most games in my lifetime, just
Yeah.
because it was so new and unique. And it was dark and scary.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I remember I played the second one once.
Oh, Twisted Metal 2 is awesome, too.
Yeah.
My favorite is Black, Twisted Metal Black, but
Dude, Twisted Metal back in the day was like a huge selling point for the PlayStation.
agreed, yeah. Number 9, I put the very first Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good choice.
I don't know, man. The music, the entire soundtrack, I love it. Wanting to 100% every level by doing all of the checklist things became an obsession for me as a small kid.
Yeah.
I wanted it so bad. Number 8, I put Tenchu Stealth Assassins for PlayStation 1.
Nice, nice.
Did you ever play that, Chris?
Oh, I played so much Tenchu.
I love Tenchu.
Tenchu. Dude, I can't decide whether I like Rikimaru or Ayame better because they both have two different weapons.
My
and
brain
they're
is
both
trying, because like I've heard of this game, and I'm trying to like conjure up some image from like
I'll play it. I'll have you play it.
from,
It's
like,
amazing.
from like the synapse from like the corners of my mind.
It's Japanese. It's Japanese Metal Gear Solid.
Pretty
Yeah,
much. No joke.
I can dig it.
Feudal Japan MGS.
So number 6, I put WWF No Mercy for the 64. That is still, in my opinion, the best wrestling game of all time.
Dude, 64 wrestling games were the best.
No wrestling game has even come close to how good those games control and feel. Number 5, I put Die Hard Arcade for the Sega Saturn.
Nice.
That is one of my favorite beat 'em ups of all time. The fact that you get to play as John McClane and no-name blonde
When did
pop partner.
when did that game come out?
They don't give her a name.
No, I mean like.
Oh, that came out
'cause-
in like 94, 95,
'cause
something like
Die
that.
Hard 1 came out like 88
Yeah.
or like 89.
Uh-huh.
Why?
And it's got its own storyline.
oh,
and
okay,
stuff.
so it's separate. Oh, that's fine.
It's weird. It's like a retelling of Die Hard.
Because like I think Die Hard with a Vengeance would have come out around then.
And then number 4, I put Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was the first game I played of this generation, and my tiny little pea brain couldn't quite grasp what I was looking at because I had never seen anything like it before.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So, number 3, I put Mega Man Legends 1.
Yeah.
These are games that these are all good choices.
I've 100%ed Mega Man Legends 1 countless times because that game is so much fun and it is so solid.
I love that game.
Number 2, I put Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite RPG of all time. Close second being Chrono Trigger. But there's not really much more you can say. Anyone who knows what Final Fantasy 7 is knows how beloved that
Anyone
franchise is.
who listens to this podcast knows how
Yeah,
beloved
exactly.
FF7
Oh, yeah.
is.
So I have a couple honorable mentions as well.
Yeah.
I put Star Fox 64. That game just plays like butter. It's
Oh, yeah.
glorious.
Yeah, that game holds up so well.
Yeah.
Hate you, Slippy.
I put also Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. There are a lot of people who rag on that game because it controls so bad, but it does not, and it plays really well.
But it does not.
I love it.
Those people are wrong.
I don't know, man. I don't know what people's problems is. It's like I can control that game really well, and I can aim like a champion in that game.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
the people who are like, you can't aim well, it's like, well, you're just playing it wrong.
Also,
So,
there's auto aim. How do you not aim well?
exactly.
I'm sorry.
My third honorable mention, I put Bushido Blade.
Yeah.
Dude, good choice.
One of the most unique and coolest fighting games ever.
I would kill
That's
for
the
them
one
to
where
make a
that's the
new
one where
Bushido
it's like
Blade.
you get. That's the one where you get like 1 or 2 hits, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you hit him correctly, you can kill him in one hit.
Yeah.
Technically, the most realistic fighting game ever made.
Yeah. Me and Aaron, actually from your podcast, Chris, me and Aaron would start off in the bamboo forest and just cut down every tree.
Oh, that was so cool. Yeah. You
It
can
was one
pick
of
your
my
weapon. The characters
Yeah.
were cool. Yeah, you can have one-hit kills. It was
So-
very
Wasn't
realistic.
there
game.
someone with a gun?
Yeah, there was an unlockable character with a gun.
That's it. Did they
There
win?
was a trick and a secret you could do with the broadsword. If you kill the enemy and then stand a certain way, your character will do his winning pose and he will insert the sword into the head of the character laying on the ground. The game will freak out and it will rapid fire the blood animation. So it's just like this explosion of blood. It's like
Yeah.
it's nuts. I used to do that a lot when I was a kid.
Man, that's something people testing a game would have no idea
Yeah.
to test for.
And then number 1 for me, all-time favorite game of that era is Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game is a masterpiece in my opinion. I
Straight
can play that game, any campaign, either character, for hours and hours.
Blindfolded, one-handed with
No joke.
one finger.
And
I
I'm
could do it.
so excited that they're remaking Resident Evil 2 in the same vein as the Resident Evil 1 remake.
I know. That's going to be so good.
Cannot wait.
I
for
just
that.
want to see what Leon looks like because he's gone through so many character
He's gonna look
changes.
totally dope. What are you talking about?
He had like red hair in that one.
Kinda. I mean,
He's
yeah.
like brown-
in the
brownish red.
cutscenes, he had reddish hair, but then like when you play the game, it was brown again. So I don't know what that was.
It's still
all
he's
about.
blonde now. I don't.
No, he's like dirty blonde.
I want there to be an unlockable costume that's just him from RE4, but he controls the same. That'd be awesome.
Just go play RE4.
No, but I want him in other games where he doesn't belong.
Oh, gotcha.
I think it would be
Gex,
awesome if they
Enter the
put-
Gecko.
If they took the voice track, the exact voice track from Resident Evil 2, and just applied it to the remake, like make that an unlockable or something.
I would be 100% okay with that.
Yeah.
100%.
I want there to be a version where, because the voice acting in RE2 is like better than the first one, right?
Not by much, but
Not
yeah.
by much, but yeah.
I just want like bad RE1 voice acting where like
Stop
it should be.
Don't open that door. But Chris is. What is it? So that's my top 10 list. Chris, hit us with it, brother.
All right, I'll go through it a little bit. I'll go through it quickly for you guys. Number 10 for me is Xenogears. You guys ever played Xenogears?
Yeah.
You gotta play Xenogears. The battle system in that
Xenogears is
game
dope.
is so like the in person, not in the mech, but the like on foot battle sequences in that game are my favorite.
Yeah, dude.
Also, super deep storyline. It's especially for its age, it was touching on subjects that no other game touched on. Man, it was basically
Agreed.
like the Evangelion of RPGs. Just to,
Man, just that
Better
whole
ending.
opening sequence I really like too.
it gets super like existential and religious. It's crazy. Games did not do what it did in its day. Number 9 is the Saturn version of Mega Man X4.
Yeah.
Because,
awesome.
dude, the Sega Saturn played 2D games like butter. They played 2D games so much better than the PlayStation 1.
Oh, yeah.
Certain games like the like X-Men vs. Street Fighter and stuff, you could not like swap out characters in the PS1, but you could on Saturn. So it was like the best way to play like the 2D games. And X4 introduced voices for like Zero, and Zero is a fully playable selectable character. He was selectable in the previous games in X3, but not like 100%. You can only be in for
Gotcha.
certain portions
Yeah.
of the game. Number 8, Street Fighter Alpha 3. We talked about it earlier, but Street
Yeah,
Fighter
I
Alpha.
love that game.
Oh man, Alpha 3 is you know what? Street Fighter 5 I'm happy with, but I wish they made Street Fighter Alpha 4. I'm just to be real.
Yeah.
Just back to, like pixel art, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, hand-drawn
Not
2D
pixel,
art is
hand drawn.
yeah, nothing.
Dude, if we could get a Street Fighter Alpha 4 in the same art style as like King of Fighters 13.
Yeah, or you know what? It compromised in like Guilty Gear Xrd because
Oh yeah.
I think Guilty Gear did it perfectly. Like the transition between 2D to 3D. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway,
That still blows my mind that that's 3D models.
I know it's the perfect way. It's a perfect example how to transition your old game into the new world. Number 7, Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, heck, 'cause it's 7. Oh,
Not much
super
to
solid.
say. That was a coincidence, actually. I didn't mean to put 7 at 7.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
You guys know why that game's good. Number 6, Mario 64.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, dude, Mario. Okay, now Brian, you might remember this, but like in 1996, they had kiosks at Toys R Us back in the day.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And so I went into a Toys R Us and saw the kiosk for 64 for the Nintendo 64 launch, and it was just like they like made this like cove of like this cave of just N64 like demos and games, and it was like heaven for like a how old was I was like 13 years old, and
Welcome to the future, kid.
yeah, it was amazing. Well, and then at the time, dude, Mario 64, dude, nothing looked like Mario 64. Not only did nothing look as good as it, but nothing even remotely controlled as good as it. So then when you pick up the 64 controller, you have an analog stick, and you're playing Mario 64, it was like, that was the future.
That game had better control because they created a console around that game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, dude,
controller and everything.
That's one of the best. That's just one of the best video games of all
Yeah,
time, in my
absolutely.
opinion.
Mario 64, you're going to talk about games that hold up. Mario 64 totally still holds up.
Oh well, yeah.
Number 5 is Chrono Cross. Now, you mentioned Chrono
okay.
Trigger, but man, I love Chrono Cross. That game that game is dripping with style. It had real consequence to like decision making. Like you can actually, there's I believe 9 different endings. That game is great. On the soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks. Like,
Isn't there like 30 different playable characters or something?
yeah. But you can't. Depending on your decisions, you can only get like half of them in a playthrough.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love that game a whole lot. Number 4 is Final Fantasy 9.
Oh, I love
Okay.
that game. I'm actually going through that right now on my PSP Go.
Oh, dude, Final Fantasy 9 like just tugs at my heartstrings.
Yeah.
That game's story is one of my favorite stories of any game. It's got phenomenal music. I love everything about that game.
Dude, oh, really quick, side note. There is a little shop across the street from where I work,
Uh huh.
and their cash registers have these big computer screens on them where it's like where it shows what you ring up and your total and all that jazz. But in the corner, for whatever reason, it's just replaying like cutscenes from Final Fantasy IX.
What?
Why?
Yeah, it's like got characters of Final Fantasy IX like chasing a Coca-Cola cap.
What?
And they're just like running around and being like, "Wee!" And I'm like, "Why do you have that?" They're like, "I don't know. I just work here." And it's if
Can you take a picture of it?
When I go to work on Monday, I will literally sit. I'll bring my phone. I will film a short amount of time of it and send it to you guys because it is one of the weirdest, most confusing things I've ever seen.
Can you film
dude.
from the shop too? Because I want to get an idea of like why this is here or like.
The shop's
why
called
is-
HG Hills. It's in Nashville, and it's like this huge grocery store / deli /
Oh.
It's amazing.
Why?
It's not like a little ma and pa. Like it's like a big store.
It's such a weird choice.
Anyway, sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
Dragon Power brought to you by HG Hills.
Get all your food there.
And Final Fantasy IX memorabilia, apparently.
Yes.
Number 3 is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, so
Very,
good.
very solid choice.
Oh, dude, Symphony of the Night. There's not... Symphony of the Night is like definition of a masterpiece of just gaming design. I love Symphony of
Absolutely.
the Night. Then that I think Symphony of the Night might be the best soundtrack in general, just in existence of any form of entertainment.
I don't know. I think I might throw Donkey Kong Country up there.
Okay, Donkey Kong Country is on that same list. I can't argue with that.
But I agree.
Number 2 is Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, as a kid in 1998, how old was I? Freaking 15? Dang, I'm old. That game, you guys know how good that game is. But like, so my best friend at the time, like he knew he got it for Christmas, right? And that game came out a few months before Christmas, but his mom bought it and hid it in his closet. So we literally like discovered it, secretly opened it like with a hair dryer to like melt the seal.
Oh yeah.
And like took it out, played it, beat it, put it back into its hiding spot. He opened it at Christmas and like totally acted like he was surprised and everything. But we had beaten it before.
hilarious.
Christmas.
Pops it on, got 20 hearts, and he's like,
It's like
so
weird.
kids.
This character's name is my name, and it says complete. That's weird.
Wow. What a
That's amazing.
coincidence.
I don't know what's happening, Mom. But yeah, Ocarina of Time was monumental and still, still one of the best Zelda games. It's still one of the best games ever.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So, number 1 for me is Valkyrie Profile.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Valkyrie Profile is my favorite RPG. And in this era, the PS1, Saturn, N64 era, RPGs were king back then, especially like Japanese RPGs. This is like the golden era of like Japanese RPGs. This is, when Breath of Fire was coming out, Final Fantasy was coming out, and Star Ocean, and then Valkyrie. Oh, I should have put Star Ocean on this list. But
Honorable mention, Star Ocean.
yes, Valkyrie Profile was I love 2D hand-drawn art, right? I'm pretty sure you guys can gather that much from
everyone
me.
does.
But dude, Valkyrie Profile's 2D animation is so good, and the combat system is so fast and fluid, and it almost plays like a fighting game. If you guys haven't played Valkyrie Profile, go on YouTube and watch like the Valkyrie Profile battle system, and it's awesome. I love.
I'll check
Valkyrie
it out
Profile.
for sure.
Can I do some quick honorable mentions?
Yeah.
F-Zero X, best F-Zero game, one of my favorite racing
Yeah,
games.
I forgot to put it on my list. Sorry.
F-Zero X is. Dude, I don't think Nintendo's ever made a better racing game than F-Zero X. Mario Kart's fun, but for pure racing, F-Zero X is like the best.
it's good.
I said Breath of Fire, but I wanted to mention Breath of Fire 3 because I love 2D animation, and Breath of Fire 3 is awesome. I didn't give Saturn any love because so I love the Saturn, but this is a top 10 list, so they didn't make the cut. But Panzer Dragoon, love Panzer Dragoon.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Panzer Dragoon to me was what was Star Fox 64 before Star Fox 64 came out.
Sure. I mean,
Because
for sure.
it basically took what Star Fox did and like made it better in my opinion. Like the first one, and then Star Fox 64 came out and blew it out of the water, but it was still good at its time. So and then last honorable mention, also Saturn, was Guardian Heroes, because it's another 2D hand-drawn game. But dude, you talk about like it's a beat 'em up with RPG elements. That game's awesome. See by Treasure, the game is awesome.
Oh yeah, Treasure.
That's amazing. Awesome. So, yeah, that was part 3 of our top 10 series. We've only got 2 more left.
Yeah.
Wacky. So
Oh, we can do handhelds. We've done no handheld games so
Yeah.
far.
Oh,
Wow.
well, we can do that next time.
Whatever.
Sweet. So that was the final boss segment. Lots of really good stuff going on in there.
Dude, I forgot I could do handhelds. I got to redo my list.
You guys
Okay,
could do some bonus DLC and
Hey, so we're starting over.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to move straight on into our free DLC segment. Ooh.
Yeah.
And today, Chris has some trivia for us.
I do. We're going to do trivia based around fighting games to go along with today's theme. So, the way I did it, I'm going to ask you guys your own unique questions.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the option of picking a easy question or a hard question. Easy questions are worth 1 point. Hard questions are worth 3 points. The easy question is a simple true or false. Did this actually happen? Did this exist?
Okay.
The 3 point questions are actual standard trivia questions where you will have to provide the actual answer.
Okay.
So in the just to keep things in a timely fashion, we're going to do 5 questions for each of you guys. So we'll start with
Okay.
Brian.
All right, I'm ready.
Easy or hard?
Hard.
Okay.
Ooh. You gave me the death stare.
Question 1 for Brian. Hard. In Killer Instinct 1, what is the description for an 11-hit combo? He says it very uniquely. You remember what I'm talking about? Triple combo.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Master combo. 11
Solid.
hits had had its own unique identifier.
I know. I'm just gonna go ahead and guess and say brutal.
Brutal is incorrect.
Dang it.
11-hit combo is a king combo.
King
King
combo. I
combo.
remember that. Dang. I should have got that. Oh well.
Connor, easy or hard?
Hard.
Hard. How did Zangief earn all of the scars on his body?
Oh, was it? It's fighting a bear, right? Wrestling bears.
That is correct.
Yeah. I love Zangief. I got my lore right.
Most people don't know that. I thought that would be a harder one, but you knew it. Good job.
Yeah.
Brian, question 2. Easy or hard?
Hard.
Hard. Name the 2 characters that are unique to Street Fighter the movie, the game.
Oh, Blade and Captain Sawada.
That is correct. And bonus question, are they absolutely stupid?
They are trash. Both of them are trash. Captain Sawada is one of the most useless characters of all
Captain
time.
Sawada. He didn't even have like 2 lines in the whole movie, and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
throw him in the game. Also, the real-life version of Akuma that they got for that game, it looks ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
Everything looks ridiculous in that game.
Wait, I think I know that guy. Oh yeah, I know what that guy looks like.
Yeah, he's stupid.
It looks like a guy cosplaying Akuma, and not a good cosplay. Connor, easy or hard?
Ooh, let me go easy. I want to see what this one is.
Easy. There was a Guilty Gear game that featured music from Slayer. True or false?
We'll go false.
That is correct.
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't fit in the butt rock style, so I was like, no. Also, I hate Slayer. Go on.
Brian, easy or hard?
Hard, please.
Hard. How many characters were selectable in the original Mortal Kombat? Gotta give you a little bit of a time limit.
7.
That's correct.
I saw him draw. I saw him do like
he's
the,
drawing
like
it
2, 2, 1, 2, 3 in the air. I saw him do.
That
That
one's
the best.
Yeah, dude, that one you don't immediately know, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's Kano, Johnny Cage, Raiden,
wow.
Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sonya.
Yeah. So there you
Nice.
go. 7's not a lot. People complain about 16 in Street Fighter 5. Dude, there used to be 7 in the 90s.
There used to be 7.
We were playing a final fight, and there was 3.
Yeah.
You had 3 characters,
I love Final Fight.
like the first one.
Hager counts as 6 though, because he's like. Cody's like, yeah.
Easy or hard?
Hard. Aired.
Okay. Sin Kisuke from Guilty Gear Xrd is the son of Kai Kisuke. Who is his mom?
Connor just pooped in his adult
Oh, because I
diaper.
was like, the only game I played is Extra. So,
Sorry, that one might be hard.
that's fine. I said hard, so.
So-
is it one of the Elfets?
I can tell you that she's not in that game.
Okay.
However, maybe she will be in the future.
And Revelator. Oh, I should look at the character list a little bit more. I could have at least made it a guess. I don't even know. Soul
Brian?
Bad Guy. Why not?
Soul bad guy. That is wrong.
Oh.
That is Krong.
Croc.
Do you know who it is, Brian?
I'm just gonna venture a guess and say I know.
It is Dizzy.
Dizzy. Oh, Dizzy.
I should have said this. That's one of the characters I didn't know.
I love Dizzy. Her theme song is amazing. And Sharp 2 Pound or Guilty Gear
Sharp
X2
2 pound reload.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Sharp 2 pound maximum
X2
overdrive.
Sharp Reload.
Yeah. Brian, easy or hard?
Hard.
All right.
Ooh.
In Tekken,
Mm-hmm.
what is the name of the corporation that belongs to Heihachi?
Oh my god, I know this. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's like key to all of the. It plays a pretty pivotal role in the storyline of the ridiculous
I know.
storyline of Tekken.
Oh gosh, I know this. Man, I'm gonna kick myself when you tell me what it is, but yeah, I can't remember.
Connor, you wanna go for the steal?
Sure. Exxon.
Exxon.
Yeah.
Close.
It is Mishima Zaibatsu.
Ooh, I would have never gotten
I totally would have got that.
Um,
No, I wouldn't have.
Okay, Connor, easy or hard?
Hard.
The game Dragon King, the fighting game, was retooled into what game?
I don't even know what Dragon King is.
Oh man! So
Retooled in...
I thought this one was made for you, my friend.
Wait. Say the name again. Say the name again.
Dragon King,
Oh.
the fighting game.
The original Smash Brothers.
That's correct.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, wait, I know it.
So, have you looked into that game before? Because there's screenshots of what that game looked like before it
Yeah.
was turned into Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I have looked at it. It looks
Oh, man.
really bad.
They were smart. They were smart.
Actually, Captain Falcon's moveset is partially based on those guys because they already had the characters and
That's
the
funny.
movesets. So that's why he has all these weird moves that aren't at F-Zero.
Have you seen that game, Brian?
I have not.
You should Google it. It's funny.
I will.
It's like,
That game ultimately got turned into the original Smash Brothers.
That's awesome though.
'cause,
All
like,
right.
we got
No
some
idea.
characters that people actually like.
Brian, easy
ahead.
or hard?
Is this the last one?
Yes, it is.
Okay, hard.
Super moves were first introduced in which Street Fighter game specifically?
Which Street Fighter game specifically?
Yes. 'Cause you
Um,
can't just say like Street Fighter 3. Like which specific Street Fighter game?
Okay. Super moves. I want to say Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Final answer?
I don't know. Connor's ahead of me in points, so.
Connor's ahead by 1 point because he did the easy. He got
Give
the
me that
easy one
easy
right.
question, boyo.
So if I get this wrong, Connor automatically wins. Screw it. I'll just say Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Okay, that is incorrect, my friend.
I figured.
Sorry.
Which one was it?
It was. Well, do you want to venture a guess, Connor?
Like Super Street Fighter 2. No, wait, like EX Street Fighter something.
Yeah, Street Fighter something.
Super Street Fighter 2. Why not?
You were close. It's Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
I knew it was one of the Street Fighter 2s, but
Gotcha.
I can't remember all
Yeah,
of them.
that's why I had to be specific because it's there's like 800 adjectives involved.
Super Street Fighter EX Rainbow Edition HD Remix EX4 Alpha 7
This time
5.
it's personal.
The Revenge. Anyway,
All right,
All right. Ask him his
last question, Mr. Connor. Last question. Easy or hard?
hard. I gotta know.
I gotta know.
I gotta know.
Let's see which one we're gonna do for you. Who was the first character to appear as a human and as a cyborg in Mortal Kombat?
As a human and as a cyborg. Oh, Smoke?
That's correct.
Okay.
Who's the second?
Oh. Cyrax? I don't know.
Brian knows who the second is, right?
Wait,
I want
human
Connor to guess this.
Human and a cyborg. There's smoke, there's... Oh, Sub-Zero.
That is correct. Good job,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have, I was thinking because they have human Cyrax and MK9, but I guess Cyber-Zero. Cool.
Thanks,
That was fun.
guys.
That was really, really close, and maybe my heart hurt a little
You guys
bit.
want it? You guys, if you have time, you want to hear the quick, easy ones you guys didn't pick?
I
Yeah.
actually really want to know these.
All right,
yeah.
buzz in. Here, you know what? Let's make this part of it. Buzz in. You guys, whoever shouts out first will get the point.
Okay.
True or false? There's a fighting game that lets you play as a football player in full gear.
True.
True.
I think that was Mr. Connor first. Do you guys know what game it was from? I'll give you another point.
I don't know.
It's from.
Isn't it Tekken? Because there's that one where you can play as the Tecmo. He has the Tecmo costume, or I don't know the character, but no, it's Dead or Alive that has the Tecmo costume.
That is, you're right. They did have that in Dead or Alive, but that's not the first one.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It was World Heroes.
World Heroes. Oh, that's a good game.
True or false? There was a fighting game that featured Mark Hamill as the announcer.
True.
That is false.
It's not a good announcer choice.
True or false? There's a fighting game featuring a move called Crucial Taunt.
True. No, false. I'm sorry, false.
True.
Crucial Taunt is the name of Cassandra's band in Wayne's World.
That is true. You get a point for that.
Whoa. Crucial Taunt?
Because it sounds like a fighting game move, right?
It does.
I was
Wow.
hoping you'd pick an easy one. That way I can get ask.
Oh, that'd be a good segment, like normal everyday objects that sound like fighting game moves.
Okay, true or false? There was a fighting game featuring Batman and Superman, but it was developed by Blizzard.
True.
False.
It is true.
It was the Justice League game on the Super Nintendo.
That's
right.
correct.
Wait,
Isn't
I
that
was trying
weird?
to- Wait, yeah, there was. Yeah. Oh, that is Blizzard.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Blizzard also did the Death and Return of Superman side-scroller beat 'em up as well.
That was a good game.
I don't care about Superman.
I thought that was a great game.
Okay,
Oh,
true or false?
Fight?
There was a fighting game that had a unique button that was called the 3D button.
true.
Do you know what game it's from?
No.
Brian, you know what game it's from?
Super Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS.
That technically had a 3D slider.
Yeah.
Brian-
War Gods.
Yes,
Ooh.
that is correct.
Nice.
That game
Wait,
was.
did I get a point for that?
Yeah, I'm
No.
giving you a point for that.
Aw, lame.
Oh, lame. All right, true or false? This one was probably easy, but it's an easy question. So there was a Mortal Kombat game that was rated T for teen.
True.
True. Dang it. It's
Mortal
it's
Kombat versus DC.
DC. I was trying
Correct.
to get it.
True or false? Super Smash Brothers Brawl was the first time we ever heard Samus speak.
False.
That is true.
She did not speak in. Did you speak in that
She
game?
speaks in some of her moves.
I thought it was just grunts.
Mm-mm.
Like oh! It's Zero Suit Samus. Dang it! I should
It's
have
Zero
got that.
Suit Samus speaks.
Yeah.
still
True or false? David Hayter did not voice Snake in that same game, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. He did
It's
not
false.
voice.
True.
False.
It's false. Good job, Connor.
I know that. I know my boy when I hear it.
Last one, true or false? Smash Brothers was originally conceptualized as a figure line, like amiibos.
True.
That is false.
I'm just like, yeah,
But it sounds right, right?
yeah.
No.
No.
They made amiibos after. I need to buy more
Yeah.
amiibos. You need an Ike one.
Okay, you've exhausted my
need
trivia, guys.
more.
Thank you for playing. After that, though, let's see. Brian has 6, 7, 8, 9 points for Brian. Connor is at 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Connor is our winner. Hooray.
Hooray!
I did it.
You did it. You win the prize.
Awesome.
What do I get?
Respect.
Oh, sick. That's what I wanted.
Sick.
100%.
I asked
You
you
can
that for
sell
Christmas.
respect.
Can I
on
eat
Craigslist.
that? Is that like exposure bucks?
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
like it. You can put it on eBay.
Sick.
And with that epic battle,
Battle.
that brings us to the end of episode 17.
It's a good episode.
This was a really fun episode. Before we get into the plugs here, I just really want to thank Chris for joining us.
Hey, thanks for
because-
having me.
You're an awesome dude. So,
Thanks, man.
First and foremost, per usual, go check out Chris and his crew over at the MultiTap Podcast.
That's me.
Links are in our description below, per usual.
Like the Atari links?
Yes. Also, go check out our friends at of-geeks-gaming. Their links are in the descriptions below as well. Check out Kmall. All of his goodness is below. He is a Twitch streamer, so check out what he's doing on there. He's got some new gear, so it's really cool to watch him do some stuff.
It's nice.
Yeah, and then also check out our friend Brendan Dorman, Portarius Music, the fellow responsible for the song portion of our intro.
And the news!
And the news sound bit as well. You also get to hear his buttery smooth voice tell you thank you for joining us on the Dragon Power Podcast at the end of each episode. Also check out Connor's friend Keith the Human. His links are in our descriptions below as well. And that is it from me.
Yeah, so if you guys want to send some internet loving, in the form of questions, segment ideas, fan art, like what you made for dinner.
Yeah, I'd like to know
kind of hungry,
that, realistically.
so like recipes.
More than
that'd be
anything,
cool.
I'd like to know what you made for
I'd like
dinner.
to know that. You can send it to dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com. What is that, Brian?
That is dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com.
Chris, what was that?
That is dragonpowerpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, he got
Perfect.
it. Awesome. If you guys want to follow us on Twitter, it's DragonPowerCast.
Mm-hmm.
At Dragon Powercast. Dang it! One of these days I
You'll
will
get it.
succeed in not being an idiot. Just kidding.
Jeez.
And not flubbing my words, which probably won't happen. Anyway, if you guys want to follow us on Facebook, it's Dragon Power Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Little search bar up there.
Perfect.
I think that's about it.
So, Chris, once again, thank you for joining us, dude. Today was a lot of fun, and we will see you guys next Monday for episode 18. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you for joining us on the Dragon Power Podcast.